Hello, my name's Sarah Booth and I'm the Family Nurse Supervisor in the Family Nurse Partnership team at Crompton Health Centre. So the Family Nurse Partnership is an evidence-based programme that's delivered internationally to first-time teenage parents through pregnancy and until the child is 2. It consists of the programme being delivered by specially trained family nurses with home visits 1 to 2 weekly for approximately 2.5 years, and the visits last around an hour to an hour and a half, so it's a very intensive service and specialist service that's provided. I'd like to start, if it's okay, by telling you a little bit about one of our clients' journeys, because that way you'll be able to see the service that we deliver and the impact that it has for the client and the child, and also for the team and for Bolton Foundation Trust. And for the purpose of today, I'm going to change the client's name and call her Millie. So Millie had a really troubled childhood, and while she was supposed to be in school, her attendance at school was very, very poor, and she was really suspicious about working with professionals. She had a really quite chaotic and unsettled home life. Since the sad loss of a mother a few years previously, she'd actually lived between different family members, and that meant she had no stable home base, if you will. She also wasn't in a stable relationship with the father of the baby, and she had a history of mental health problems with anxiety that she wasn't receiving any care and treatment for. She wasn't registered with a GP or a dentist, and within the family there was a really strong history of mental health problems, criminal activity and police involvement, substance abuse and alcohol dependency. So you can see that build a picture of a really vulnerable young lady and unborn baby. One of the other things that she described to us was witnessing domestic violence as a child, and quite horrifically between a father assaulting a mother, that on one occasion she actually thought that he'd killed her. Because we know teenage parents and their children are at greater risk of becoming lost and hidden within the system, and their uptake of healthcare is often really quite poor, then they're at a greater risk of poorer birth outcomes, of long-term chronic ill health and social problems. So for Millie's baby, there was a real sense that he was at a greater risk of becoming part of that cycle of ongoing intergenerational disadvantage. Thinking about the overall impact of the Family Nurse Partnership for Millie and Jack, Millie engaged really well with a family nurse, and she gave birth to a little boy, Jack, who was healthy, and she breastfed. And we know that that brings significant health benefits for both Millie and Jack. She was observed to give really sensitive and responsive caregiving, and there was a really good bond and attachment between them, which we know is going to support Jack in the long term in his emotional health and his emotional well-being. He's now a really happy, healthy, lively, inquisitive toddler who is fully immunised, and he's got good growth and development, and that's a good base for his health as he moves further into childhood and then on into adulthood. Millie was supported to move into her own home, and she was able to keep her home safe, settled, smoke-free, and with doing that she reduced the risks of sudden infant death syndrome, shaken baby syndrome, accidents. Her emotional health is good now, she's well in herself, she accesses a GP and a dentist appropriately. She's also taking reliable contraception, and that's reduced the risk of a second teenage pregnancy, which is really important for young mums. She's also been accessing her 2-year nurse replacement for Jack, and that's given her time now to really focus on her future, to apply for apprenticeships and jobs, and that's really going to secure or support the chances of securing self-economic sufficiency for the future. So all in all, really, what I'm sort of saying there is, from a young, scared, expectant child who'd been let down time and time again by the people that were supposed to care for her and protect her. She's blossomed into a bright, confident young mother who's meeting all of her child's needs, and she's really give Jack the best start in life and a real chance at breaking that cycle of disadvantage which we often see for teenage parents and their children. And the family nurse also said it was an absolute pleasure to work with them, and we're confident that the future looks really bright for them both. So as a team, we've been congratulated by NHS England commissioners and the national unit for the Family Nurse Partnership for the progress that we've made, for the achievements that we're seeing with many of our clients, for our ability to share some of what we've learned, not just here in Bolton, but across Greater Manchester and nationally. So that's really positive. And then this recognition and reputation that we've developed has also enabled us to be asked with some of our clients to meet Chris Hopkins, a government minister, and Duncan Selby, the Chief Executive of Public Health England. We've also been informed by our Family Nurse Partnership National Unit that we're amongst the top performing family nurse sites in the country. And there's 135 sites, so we feel really proud about this. We also know that from extensive research that the success that our clients are seeing and the outcomes that they're achieving are really likely to, I suppose, give massive cost savings in the future for the health trusts and for the wider health economy for those parents that have participated in the Family Nurse Partnership in the long term. And finally, we believe that our reputation also supports the overall reputation of the Foundation Trust. And, you know, with the changing climate of commissioning, this has never really been any more important. Thank you.